It's going to be short, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Glenn Straub did not come through for us and sell the casino as we requested.
Yeah, what a bastard.
Howdy, this is Monday, September 25th, 2017, and this is episode 57 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City and Casino Biz podcast. I'm Kyle Askin, joined as always by Craig Stone. What's good, Craig?
Happy to be here, as always. Ready to talk about the very little news we have since last time we were here.
All right, 6 days ago, the last time we recorded, surprisingly, or not surprisingly, there hasn't been all that much that came out, but I think we've got some content for you guys today.
Because we went to the casino.
We did go to the casino, but I think it was just worth getting this extra episode out, given that it's going to be a while before the next news episode. So,
yeah, this is your sort of
sending off?
Farewell sending. That sounds too permanent. It's sort of you're going off on hiatus.
It's my last day.
Yeah, but you know,
Due for a Win Incorporated.
Yeah. You know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, Glenn Straub is going to sell Revel tonight after we record.
No, literally mid-delivery. While your child is being born, the news will come out that Straub is selling Revel. And
be like, sorry, honey, I've got to go.
And that it's opening tomorrow. Yes. It's going to be great.
Yeah, sounds likely.
Look forward to that happening.
Sounds like a highly probable scenario you've laid out for us.
Yeah. June 15th opening. 2015 or whenever that first got suggested. 2016.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a long time ago, though.
It was. Feels like a long time ago.
All right. You want to jump into the news? I don't expect this to be a very long episode, so we can just dive into it.
The news or our trip
our trip report?
It's kind of disingenuous to call it a trip report, I feel. Because it was about report. 2 hours, but
2 good hours, though. All right, let's just get into it. So Craig came down to Maryland this week, or last weekend. So on Friday night, me and him went out to the local casino to here, and here is Laurel, Maryland, for those of you who are interested, where I live now and where Craig grew up, ironically enough.
Even though we
didn't know each other until college. So, yeah, you came down, and Friday night after your daughter went to bed and my son went to bed, we went to Maryland Live up in Hanover.
Which I think is actually just called like Live Casino now, which is confusing. Mm-hmm. But the website is still MarylandLive.com. So I'm going to call it Maryland Live until I'm told otherwise. So
this was my first time being at Maryland Live in quite a long time, probably in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I don't think I've been since 2013, so quite a while. And that was the only other time I've been. And that time I think I put up $20 in a slot machine, and that was it. Like, it was just too crowded, and I couldn't.
Were there even table games then?
Yes, there were table games.
Okay.
I remember noticing that the blackjack rules were very good at that time, but the limits were like $50.
So we'll get to that soon enough. Just for the people who are a little curious about the casino history in Maryland is.
We didn't have them, and then we did.
You're right. We didn't have them, and then we did. And of the kind of newer run of brand new casinos built after it was legalized, Maryland Live was the first that happened.
It was before Hollywood?
Which Hollywood?
The one.
The one is in Charlestown in West Virginia, but there's one in Perryville, which is very small.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Doesn't
even count.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, so when I'm talking about the Maryland casinos, I don't count Ocean Downs, Perryville, or Rocky Gorge, which are the 3 casinos we have that are all very, very small. So the 3 main casinos are Maryland Live, MGM National Harbor, and the Baltimore Horseshoe. And Maryland Live was the first one to open, and it opened before table games or poker were legal. So when it first opened, it was only slot machines. And then, I don't know, 6 months or a year later, table games became legal, and so it opened up so table games opened up as soon as it was legally possible at midnight on whatever night they became legal, and then I think poker opened up a few months after that when that became legal. So it was the first of the big casinos in Maryland. So yeah, but when it all first opened up, the rules of everything were fantastic.
Which is interesting because there was no competition.
Yeah. I'd have to do a little bit more research on it, but I suspect it may have been mandated by the state. They might have been a bit stricter about what the rules are. Because even last time I was at Maryland Live, there was no such thing as 6-5 blackjack or anything. So I wonder if when MGM came in, they kind of asked for a relaxing of the rules and regulations. I mean, because some stuff still happens. Like, you can still surrender at all the Maryland properties. So, which is something that you don't really see in a whole lot of places in either. Well, I think in almost nowhere in Atlantic City. I think only the high limit room of the Nugget allows it, only if you ask.
Yeah.
And in Vegas, it's even pretty rare now as well. I mean, at least on the Strip. I mean, perhaps downtown, it's a bit more.
Yeah, even 5 or 6, well, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, you could find it on the Strip if you knew where to look. And I think now it's just really hard. But I haven't been in a long time.
There's like 3 tables at the front of Harrah's that were awesome. There were the 3 or 4 3-2 tables with surrender.
Yeah, Monte Carlo used to have surrender.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm assuming they don't anymore.
Right.
Somebody who goes to Vegas more often
too, because those it was like 4 tables right near the main entrance out on the Strip at Harrah's, and the rest of the tables in the entire establishment pretty much were 6-5 with just horrible rules. So it was very strange.
Yeah,
but last time I was in Vegas was 3 or 4 years ago. So yeah. I don't know if that's still the case.
It's been 4 years for us, man. It's a long time.
Yeah, it has been a long time since I went. At least once a year, and more often 2 or 3 times a year before that for like 8 years in a row.
Yeah. We're messing up.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that soon when I go back either, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Given that.
Unlikely.
I'm going to have another baby very soon.
2 kids under 2? You don't think you can swing a trip, say, like, yeah. I don't know, maybe 6 weeks, 8 weeks from now?
Well, it depends. Only if...
Episode 60 live from Vegas?
Live from Las Vegas. Yeah. I'll run it by Megan and we'll see.
Yeah, ask and record it when you ask just so we can see the reaction.
just yeah.
That'll actually be episode 60.
At least my wife is a lawyer, so I think she wouldn't find the divorce proceedings that difficult to get through. It'd be more of a challenge for me.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not a good thing.
She has experience with litigation, so.
Do not want.
Anyway, Maryland Live. So... yeah, we both hadn't been in a very long time.
And it opened in 2012, so I think both of us were there within the first year or 2 that it was open and haven't been since.
Yeah, I was there probably 2 or 3 years ago. I've been there, but for whatever reason, I didn't really remember it that well, but I remembered feeling pretty fondly about it. And I always thought it was a perfectly nice casino that... like Craig said, the limits were a little bit high, though they have come down, both because of the opening of the Horseshoe, and then even more so after MGM National Harbor opened. So the limits are a little lower, but I don't know. I wasn't wild about my Maryland Live experience. I think I would have rather just gone to the Horseshoe.
Yeah, I also prefer the Horseshoe. Horseshoe seems a little more manageable, and I don't know if it's just that it is a smaller casino, but it's also split up over 2 floors. It doesn't feel as jam-packed with machines. And then Maryland Live, to me, and I think I said this to you, feels like it was designed by somebody who had never been in a casino before. Like the casino floor of Maryland Live, where there are these weird pathways that you sort of gravitate toward, but then you miss whole sections of the casino. Like, I felt like there was a whole weird sort of triangle that I didn't even make it through because it's almost like a tree. Like, you walk through the path and it just branches off into Y shapes, and there are these sort of dead zones where I was looking at and I was like, I know I can get there if I just walk through a sea of machines, but there's no path really leading me to that, which is kind of strange. So I ended up in the same places over and over again, and I walked around the whole casino multiple times because I ended up looking for you when you were playing craps, which we'll talk about later. But
with no cell phone signal.
And that's another big complaint is like the cell phone service there is just atrocious. So it's really hard if you need to get in touch with somebody. Like not only is it just this insane maze where like if you were to tell somebody that you're playing blackjack, that is actually like not helpful at all because that could be anywhere in this weird like snaking table game area. Like they're just table games sort of strewn about like a ribbon of table games throughout the entire casino floor. And like there's blackjack all over the place. There's Pygo poker in various locations. There's a giant baccarat section of just baccarat tables. And so, you know, describing to somebody where you are over text, if you can even get service, is difficult. And then the most likely outcome is that you will receive that text 5 minutes after you leave the casino. So, I don't know, like it's nice, like it's nice enough, but there's something about it that I just didn't really love, and I certainly prefer Horseshoe. Maybe it's just because it's familiar and it feels very Caesar's Entertainment, and that's what I'm used to. So maybe I'm just a sucker and I'm totally in the ecosystem. Do you think there's anything to that?
I think that you're a little bit unfair to Maryland Live. I don't think the layout is that poor. It's definitely, it's humongous. It's just this huge single floor that's gigantic. And it is a little bit intimidating, I guess. I don't think I have the same complaints as you do about flow, but I'm probably someone who cares a lot less about that kind of stuff than you do as well.
Yeah, so, I like to wander, so it makes it difficult.
Right. I'm more down to business. I
found a table,
acquire a target, and go straight for it in the straightest line possible. But no, I do think that I also enjoy Horseshoe more. It's also a lot less crowded. Yes. I mean, I think it does way worse than Maryland Live as well. I think honestly, I think Maryland Live does basically on par as MGM National Harbor, which is crazy.
Yeah, and it was still packed. I mean, it was Friday night.
It was incredibly busy.
Yeah, like it was hard to find. Like if you wanted to play a specific machine, it was hard to find a machine. Like I like Buffalo, and they had a bunch of like big Buffalo Gold machines. Could not get on one of those. They had a bunch of Wonka machines. Could not get on those. They had these new Pac-Man machines that look kind of cool. That like the cabinet for them looked like old arcade cabinets, which is pretty sweet. Couldn't get on those. So it's very, very crowded. The popular games are very crowded. Table games, I didn't think it was so hard to find availability in table games. I don't know if you had a different experience.
I totally disagree. So I was looking to play Pygo Poker for a while. I could not get on any of the tables, which there were only 4, I think. So it's not that shocking. And I was looking to play craps for a while, and I could not get on any of the craps tables either. Yeah. There were like 6 full-size craps tables, and they were all packed with people.
Yeah, the craps tables were all packed with people waiting behind it when I walked around.
Insane.
I actually did, when I walked by Pygo Poker, I think after you had already found your target, there were a couple seats open at one Pygo Poker table, and they had just opened another one. So there's a totally empty $25 Pygo Poker table.
Nice.
I didn't sit down and play because I was trying to figure out where the hell you were. And that took me a solid half an hour of just walking around.
So what did you do before we ended up meeting up?
I played. Well, I signed up for a player's card. The player's card deal they have is $25 in either free slot play or in promotional chips. So I took the slot play because with the promotional chips, if you win, they give you $25 and take the coupon. Whereas with the slot play, I figured I didn't need the coin flip to get $25. I'd just get whatever percentage I got from the machine. And so at the end of this playing through the $25, on a Buffalo machine, I had I think like $18. And I was like, let me just see if I can get this up to 20 and then I'll cash out. And instead I got down to 0. So I ended up with no free play. My logic is right on taking the slot play there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
So the other nice thing, and I just got the email today, is that you get a second $25 72 hours after you sign up if you provide them with an email address. So that's a no-brainer. but you have to use it within 14 days or something like that, or 7 days. I don't know. I think it's 7, 10, 14. I don't know, something like that. I have through October 5th, I think, to use it. So I am not going to make it to Maryland Live in that amount of time. So that sucks, but I guess I get a lot of slot play that I don't use, so you can't really.
Drop your card in the mail. Send it to me.
Oh, I could.
I'll give you half of my winnings.
Yeah, send me those $6 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I went and played some 7-5 jacks or better, which is 7 times 7 to 1 on a full house and 5 to 1 on a flush.
It's not very good.
No, 9-6 is full pay. 7-5 is about what I expected, to be honest. And you see that a lot of places in Atlantic City. Although you can certainly find 9-6 if you look for it.
You can also find 6-5 if you look for it.
That's true. So there was very little jacks or better, which I was really surprised by. Like most of the machines were like double bonus and deuces wild in one other game, and I haven't really practiced on those games. So even though I sort of like deuces wild, I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'd rather play jacks or better even at crappy odds. I ended up hitting 4 of a kind and left up $20 on jacks or better, so that's fine. But it was weird that there's so little video poker, but it's not really that profitable for the casino, so I don't think they feel an incentive when that floor space could be used for things like Pac-Man and Buffalo machines. Gold.
Yeah. I agree with that analysis.
So what about you? What did you do while I was wandering around and playing crappy video poker?
So I walked around for a little while. Like I said, I tried to get on a Pie Poker or craps table. It just wasn't happening. So I just found a $15 blackjack table, and I played at that for a while without really paying attention because last time I was there was 3 or 4 years ago. And then I got a blackjack, and I got paid $18.
Oh.
And then I got up and left.
Rage quit.
Yeah.
The theme of our last 2 episodes, rage quit.
Yeah, I was expecting my $22.50, and I did not get it. So yeah, I looked at the felt. Sure enough, it said 6-5. So I was pretty surprised and disappointed to see that. And it looked like most of the blackjack tables were 6-5.
It sucks. It's disappointing.
Screw that. Got up, left, was down like $50. And then I went to the video craps terminal, basically. Which, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So these are interblock terminals that are kind of... There's a big bar at one end of the casino, not all the way at the end. It's sort of, I don't know, middle end-ish. That's not too important to the story, but it's sort of
description.
This like football-shaped bar, and all the way around the bar are these interblock terminals. And then there's also a couple little circles of interblock terminals on either side of the bar. And on one side, they circle around a dealer dealing blackjack and a dealer dealing baccarat, right? And on the other side, they circle around this little tiny craps tub and a roulette wheel. And so if you're at any of these terminals throughout, they're pretty sprawling and spread out, so you can totally be playing somewhere where you can't even see where the dealers are. You can play any of these games at, sort of a stadium style. And I don't know, did you play more than just craps on the machines, or did you play?
I played a few hands of blackjack and baccarat while I was sitting there too.
Was there a 5th game, or was it just those 4?
There was six games actually, so you did get it slightly wrong. You were mostly right. So there was 3 stations set up. There was one that had 2 blackjack tables, one that had 2 baccarat tables, and then one that had craps and roulette. So,
I missed one of the stations then.
Yeah. You probably was the one kind of diagonal across from where we were sitting, which were both baccarat tables were over there.
Yeah, just assumed the blackjack baccarat was combined because I saw those both on the machine. Okay.
Yeah. So there was 6 games, but 2 of them were blackjack and 2 of them were baccarat. Mm. So while I was sitting there, I did play a couple hands of blackjack, and I did play a couple hands of baccarat.
So the interesting thing to me about the stadium craps, just from a experience standpoint, is it seems totally random who got to shoot. Like somebody would just run up. At one time, there was like a little bit of a dispute about like who had next, right? And then the pit boss had to kind of be like, no, not you, him. Okay, go ahead. And then they would roll a few times, and then the other guy would come up next. So it's kind of funny. And so they'd roll into this, like not even half size, like an eighth of the size of a normal craft table.
It was tiny.
And there's like a plexiglass portion over part of it, I guess, to like keep you from, to make you, force you to roll like a little bit
high
from above, I guess.
Yeah.
I
think so.
So it's funny just to see that sort of scrambling happen, and I don't know, it was interesting.
Right. So just two comments on the actual crafts. Like Craig said, getting to roll, it was in incredibly high demand. There was basically like these couple different guys that were very adamant at how badly they wanted to roll. And so they were just rolling every time, and the dealers were kind of trying to keep some semblance of order to it, but they didn't really care.
And then
it was quite, they were quite adamant. And then the second thing, just one more thing to say, is the dealers were like very insistent about both dice have to hit the back roll wall,
which
and
makes
they called
sense when
no
it's
roll
18 inches
a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because if you had a die that did not hit a wall, they would no roll it.
Yeah, and we did see one guy roll a 7, and they called it no roll because it didn't hit the back wall.
Yeah.
Like, he immediately was like, no roll, no roll. Mm-hmm. So that's funny. It was interesting to see somebody roll, and between every throw of the dice,
would go back to their terminal.
Run to their terminal and place some bets.
Run to their terminal.
Literally run and place some bets. I mean, most everybody who rolled was only 3 or 4 feet away from their terminal, or 10 feet away from their terminal. Mm-hmm. One guy was like sitting there eating a slice of pizza, like using his terminal as a tray to eat a slice of pizza, and then also would like run up and roll. It's kind of funny to see. But it was interesting from that perspective. And so we played that. I probably played for, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes. You played.
Yeah, I played for an hour and a half, probably 2 hours.
So how did you do?
I did quite well. I was up like, I don't know, what did I cash out? Like $700?
$687 or something like that, I think.
Yeah,
on
I bought him for 100. So yeah, I was up $600 or something. So
it took me a while to get my bets in before the thing timed out.
Right. So let me describe how betting worked at this terminal. So the blackjacks were $25 minimum, as was baccarat. I didn't look at roulette because I'm not playing roulette. It was probably $25 as well. And craps was $25, but it wasn't a $25, like a normal $25 craps table. It was, you had to have at least $25 of bets out at all times, and it was a $10 craps table. So it was sort of like roulette, like, you know how roulette normally is. You have to have at least whatever the limit is on the inside for it to be a valid bet. And so what I was doing for the most part was I was waiting for a point to be established. So I wasn't betting on the come out roll because I didn't want to have $25 of bets out for the most part on come out rolls. Because either I'd have to make a $25 pass line bet, or I'd have to make like a $10 pass line bet and then like a $15 C&E bet, which is just horrible. Or I guess I could have bet some hard ways and stuff and turned them all on, or place some numbers and turn them on, but that feels like a really weird thing to do on a come out roll.
Yeah.
So what I was doing is I was waiting for the come out roll to happen, and a point to be set, and then I would bet the come, and I'd place the 6 and the 8, and I'd put $1 on the hard ways or something like that to make sure I have enough money out there. So it was strange because it was like roulette rules of how to make sure you have enough money out there, and not normal craps rules.
Yeah, I found that pretty weird, and as someone who, I've talked about not quickly grasping the math behind things, it took me a little while just to master, like, sort of how quickly you could even press the buttons. Like, I was, like, dragging chips to places, but no, you can just, like, touch the chip denomination and then touch the place on the table. So for the first few rolls, I, like, didn't even get my bets out in time. And then there were a couple rolls where I was like, okay, I'm going to put 12 on this, place the 6 for 12, place the 8 for 12, and then what do I want to do with this extra $1? And then the time would run out. So then it would be, like, no bet because it wasn't $25. So probably out of the first 6 rolls or throws of the dice when I was sitting at the table, sitting at the machine. 4 of them were didn't get bets in time, had no action on them, and then 2 of them I got in my like $12 on the 6, $12 on the 8, and threw $1 on a hard way. Usually, like if the point was an even number, I just put $1 on that as a hard way, and then 7 out immediately on that on that roll. So I was very quickly down whatever, like $30 something or $50 something. So that sucked. But I managed to come back and win a cool $15 because a couple people had reasonably long rolls. I hit my hard way and tried to press it on the advice of Dr. Mike. So doctor's orders, but then he didn't hit it again. So I had $8 on it, and I figured, like, you know what's more fun than $8 is $64. So I left it up there. It's Craig's gambling advice for the day. $64 is greater than 8. It's your math lesson.
I'm making the Neil deGrasse Tyson face right now.
Yeah.
There's a badass over there for your $8 hard way bet.
Yeah, so when I hit the hard way, I was like, dollar hard way is not very exciting, is it?
No.
Like, I feel like you should be more excited than that. But so that is one thing that kind of annoyed me about it is, like, I feel like I'm sort of just throwing my dollar away. Like, I'm just putting it there because I have to. Like, it almost feels like an ante, although you obviously can win. It's not.
Why didn't you make a comeback?
Because then you get, like, odds on that. Then I'm going to end up with, like, $100 out on the table. Which is like, This is stadium gambling. Like, I should have less on the table than I have.
Worked out well for me.
Yeah, it did work out very well. And it would have worked out pretty well for me after I finally figured out the touchscreen.
You're such an old man.
I know. Luddite when it comes to craps. So the thing that I thought was the funniest was as I left, I was like, oh, that was kind of, right in my zone of things that I normally like, right? Like low roller, place I only had $25 out there at a time. And then I very quickly was like, well, I could do that at any normal craps table. Like it's just a $10 minimum table, which is they have a ton of in Atlantic City. So the only reason I was playing there instead of any other craps table was, well, one, we couldn't have gotten on a craps table.
Right. That was the reason I was playing there.
But also because craps tables at Maryland Live are $25. So
also, so I could play blackjack at Baccarat at the same time.
But I'd much rather be in Atlantic City playing $10 on a real table than playing this weird version of this. And if I'm at a $10 table, like, that's not the way I'd play. Like, it was fine. I guess if I learned one thing, it was like, oh, that's a really, like, slow roll way to play craps if I want to play it that way. But which I guess is useful because there are times when, like, other people want to play craps and I kind of stand around and don't play. Like, I could do it that way, but I didn't love it. I guess sometimes I'm just antisocial, and that's less.
I'm surprised
social
that
than...
I would think that this would be right up your alley. I'm surprised you did not enjoy your stadium.
But it's not a low limit
experience.
The thing, I mean, sure, I like the touchscreen and stuff once I figured it out, and I like that style of stuff, but it needs to actually be a low limit. Otherwise, there's no real benefit. The benefit is, like, not having human contact, which is fine. Like, yeah, sure, that's a benefit to some. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. I'd probably play it again if I went back, just because I think it's a more fun option for me than $25 craps, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't love it.
So,
I initially was like, yeah, that was cool, and then I was like, was it? Was it cool?
So just to hop in and follow up on what we were talking about earlier, I just did look it up, and I can confirm that the state law did change in Maryland when MGM National Harbor opened, so that the casinos were allowed to set their own blackjack odds, and it was mandated by the state to be 3-2 before that. So it was in December of 2016 that they were allowed to switch to 6-5.
Thanks for nothing, Maryland state legislators.
MGM National Harbor. So
one thing that's still a law in Maryland is that you can't provide free drinks to your gamblers. So
that is a law. That is true. Do you know who they're protecting?
No. You,
Bars.
The gambler?
Bars.
Oh, really? Yes, bars.
Yeah, it's the bar lobby.
Interesting.
So it is not, you would think that, like, hey, maybe that's something to make sure you don't get fleeced by the casino when you're drunk or something, but no, it was the bar lobby that said it was uncompetitive to them to allow you to get free drinks instead of going to a bar to get wasted?
I don't know. I think people would pretty quickly realize that drinks are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
On the tables, but
anyway, yes, there are no free drinks in the state of Maryland. It is banned, and even when I was Diamond in the Diamond Lounge, still no free drinks, though they were deeply discounted.
So one thing, they do have servers coming around, and you can order from them. But when we were playing Interblock Craps, actually, when I say Interblock Craps, that sounds like they're bubble craps. When we were playing the Stadium Craps, I didn't even see a waitress come around, so...
I didn't see. Was there a button on the machine that we were supposed to hit?
I don't think so. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't think I saw any either.
But also, the rolls happened so fast that it was like, well, I'm not going to run up and get a drink. And Mr.
The rolls are
leave
very
my
fast.
money in the machine. Like, that didn't seem like a good idea. So I just sat there not drinking. I don't know. You were driving.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a fan of that. But just to bring this back around to Atlantic City, if they had these stadium machines in, say, Tropicana, because they were the ones to bring in Shack Jack, so I feel like they're the most likely ones to do it, would you have any interest at all in doing this? Thoughts?
No, not if there was better options. I mean, and though I was joking, and I was playing some blackjack and some baccarat along with craps at the same time, it's not the same or as good. I'd rather just play at a table with people.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be one thing if the limits were really low. Like if it was $5 craps.
I don't really care about that, though.
I do. I'd be on board with that. I'd be totally on board with like $3 or $5 craps. But at 10 or worse 25, like no, don't care.
I mean, it was 10. It was
it's
a lot
basically
cheaper
10.
than anywhere else at Maryland Live.
Right.
Where I think there was a $15 craps table, only one, and the rest were $25, and they were all packed anyway.
Right. But if it was to come to Atlantic City, it would not be the cheapest craps table. So,
right.
And would actually be like effectively more expensive because a $10 craps table in Atlantic City, actually you can play with only $10 on the table, and this one you have to put on $25. So.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'd do it if it was really low limit. I don't really see.
Do you play the Pop-O-Matic craps at Wild Wild West?
No, I've never played it.
Really?
So,
how have you never played it?
I don't know. I
feel like I play it every time I go there, and I don't even really like it. Yeah.
No, I haven't played it.
I played it the last few times I've been there.
So, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I say that I'll play it, but I haven't played the Pop-O-Matic craps, so.
Yeah. I mean, you play a lot of slots, and I never play slots, so right. I suspect that's...
This is your slot replacement?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, sure.
But no, I'd rather be at a table.
Anything else on Maryland Live?
No, just that I think if you'd asked me before I went, I'd be like, yeah, Maryland Live is probably certainly not the best. But I think I would have said it was my favorite Maryland casino, but I hadn't been there in a few years. And now, having been there again, I would say it's actually probably my least favorite. So
yeah,
I think I'd rather go to MGM than Maryland Live, and I do not especially like MGM National Harbor. So,
but Horseshoe's your favorite?
Yeah, I think Horseshoe's my number one right now.
Yeah, I haven't been to MGM, so I can't really compare, but I definitely liked Horseshoe better then.
Yeah. Plus, you can park for free there for Orioles games.
I think
which is always where I park when I go to Orioles games.
I think they charge now, but I'm not entirely sure.
No, they charge for Ravens games.
Yes. I thought they started charging.
The Ravens Stadium is a lot closer than the Orioles Stadium. You have to walk around the Ravens Stadium to get to Orioles Stadium.
Yeah, it's a hell of a walk to the Orioles Stadium, but
it's pretty far, but it's also free.
Yeah.
And you get to gamble before and after the game.
If we've established anything about you, it's that you're willing to walk.
That's what I like.
And also gamble.
I'm one, willing to walk, and two, like to gamble. So
yep,
it's right up my alley. All right. Anything else about Maryland Live? I think we can move on. It's not a very good casino. I don't see any reason to go to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the closest thing to your house and my parents' house.
It certainly is, but
I really don't. If it's between not going to any casino when I'm home for a couple nights and going to Maryland Live, I might just choose not going to any casino.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing for them.
No.
But they don't need my business. They're packed.
Are you really a man who likes casinos for the sake of casinos, though?
Yeah, I'm more like casino towns.
Yeah, I think you like Atlantic City more than the casinos in Atlantic City.
Yes, that's absolutely
or something. Yeah.
Correct.
So it doesn't surprise me.
No. Okay, should we talk about Boneyard Bar and Grill, which I think you've
you can talk about. I told you before the show, I've never heard of it. So,
so
I will have no input on this.
Boneyard Bar and Grill is on Virginia Avenue. It's a block or so out from the former Taj, soon to be Hard Rock. It's closing on October 1st. They didn't really provide any reason, but posted on Facebook saying October 1st they would be closing their doors. I'll link to an article by Ryan Laughlin in Atlantic City Weekly. They hosted a lot of local musicians there, so it was kind of unique in terms of their entertainment, because a lot of other places, like Wild Wild West may have local musicians, but it's all cover bands. Like, they actually had live original music at Boneyard. It's also small and local, so that's a pretty big contrast to what's going to be a block and a half away at the Hard Rock in May of 2018, assuming that opens in time. But if you want to say a last goodbye, if you really enjoyed the Boneyard, they will be reopening for the weekend of October 6th and 7th just to do a farewell event. I think they're going to have live music and stuff, but Boneyard Bar and Grill, one of the 24-hour joints in Atlantic City, is closing next weekend. So with only a week left, and then they're returned for a farewell event.
Okay.
So should we talk data?
Yeah. There's a report by the Lloyd Levinson Institute of Gaming at Stockton, and I believe it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, the Atlantic City Story actually had one of the authors of this report, or perhaps the author of this report, on the show to talk a little bit about it. And basically it tries to be a holistic look at how the Atlantic City tourism industry is doing by looking at more than just the gaming data, which is what most people care about. And it looks at three things. It looks at the parking fee to Atlantic City, the lodging fee, and what is the third one, Greg?
So it's revenue generated per room, non-casino revenue generated per room. They call it Atlantic.
Right. Yeah, it's not. Yep.
Atlantic County non-casino RevPAR is what it's called. So I don't know. I guess anything other than casino winnings.
So non-casino revenue.
Yeah.
So basically looking at that, the tourism data in Atlantic City looked good according to this report, which to me, I think it's fine. That we both believe that, or at least I believe that Atlantic City is in fact doing better on the tourism front. I don't know. What thoughts do you have about this?
Yeah, it's certainly good is better than bad. Like, an increase is better than a decrease. So the parking fee stuff and the lodging fees are broken down by per 100 rooms, and per 100 spaces. So that was up 10% for parking fees and 8% for lodging. The revenue generated per room was up 8%. But I guess my question is, these numbers are great, but obviously comparing to the first 6 months of 2016, Taj was involved, and it was like Taj in the death throes, not making very much revenue at all, while also being a giant casino with a ton of rooms and presumably a ton of parking spaces. Mm-hmm. So, removing all of those rooms and all of those parking spaces from the equation, and we've seen Atlantic City generally keep most of its gaming revenue, which presumably would also relate to most of its non-gaming revenue, like it would retain most of that as well if it's keeping its gaming revenue. That sort of put a little damper on it to me. And also, when you remove 2,000 rooms from an ecosystem and retain all the gaming revenue, that means that demand is going to go up on the remaining rooms. But I guess if you're a potential investor, or like Hard Rock probably looks at these numbers and is reasonably satisfied, just because room rates going up is a good thing, right? Parking fees going up sucks for all of us, but casinos make more money on it.
So how is room rates going up a good thing, but parking rates going up is bad for consumers?
Well, yeah, room rates are bad for us also.
They both come out of the consumer's pockets, right?
Right, unless you're comped. I
don't see the difference there.
Right, no, obviously both of those things are bad for the consumer, but good for the
right, good
for the casino. So, yeah, if you're an investor, great. If a consumer, if you're going to gamble, not great, but I guess you can spin it in the positive light and say, like, hey, this is better for the long term of Atlantic City, if you're interested in things like that, like we are.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's good. There's some data that backs up the way we feel beyond just the gaming data. So, sure. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about that.
No, I think everything else is just a few little Hard Rock updates. You know, nothing really blowing us out of the water with Hard Rock or like really shocking, but just a few little things happened. Should I plow through them?
Just dive right in.
So the Press of Atlantic City, actually Nicholas Huba from the Press of Atlantic City, posted a video of construction crews demolishing the fountain that was at the valet entrance of the Taj. So I'll link to that. I know some people who really liked the Taj were sad to see that go. I didn't really have any feelings one way or the other about that fountain. Like, I never parked at the Taj and never really saw that fountain. I don't know if I even walked by it, other than just like, I probably only even saw it from like a bus window or something. So that's one piece of news. Any thoughts on the fountain?
No. I mean, I know you're the one that was really like, we need to go see them take down the minarets, and like, this is a huge deal.
Yeah, see, this is like something that's tucked away down a road that you wouldn't drive down unless you're actually going to the casino. I want to see it like being deconstructed, where you drive into the city and you're like, holy crap, what the heck is that? That is still a ways off from happening. If it ever happens, it may all just be covered in scaffolding and you'll never even notice. Bob I in the Facebook group was actually in Atlantic City this past weekend and said there's now fencing up all around to the Hard Rock complex. The casino floor is totally gutted. There is also now a Hard Rock Casino employee entrance sign, so that's the first external sort of Hard Rock logo on something. So, other than the old Hard Rock Cafe. So that was kind of cool to see. He posted a picture. I'll link to his post in the Facebook group. Yep. You do need to be a member to see it. So if you're not a member, just request to join. That's our version of a paywall, except it's free. You just have
Craig's plot to drive more members to our Facebook group.
Yeah, we're over 1,000 members, so that's pretty cool. It's interesting because for a long time, even after it closed, the casino floor was still, like, all the machines were still there, and you could look in the windows, and it was like they could turn the lights on to this tomorrow. I mean, there would still be mold in the rooms, but the casino floor would be working. So now they've totally gutted that, and good to see that. Glad we have some people posting pictures in the Facebook group. So thanks to Bob for posting that. Very cool to see. It was
a cool picture.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of members of the Facebook group are in Atlantic City right now, actually.
It does seem that way.
There have been a raft of pictures today from around the town.
People taking advantage of the hot weather, the late...
It is quite hot on the East Coast now.
Summer's over, but it's still 90 degrees, so...
Yeah.
Might as well go to the beach and get some gambling in. And then the last piece of Hard Rock news is that Scores, which was a strip club in the Taj Mahal, claims that it has the right to stay open once the Hard Rock opens. They say that their lease is still active, and they should be allowed to continue if they want. Kind of reminiscent of all the
Rebel restaurants.
Yeah, restaurants and nightclubs that said that they would still be open, or should at least be given the option, which, Glenn Straub was not really happy about.
Not a fan of.
So we're seeing that again. Hard Rock is now filing a suit, or has filed a suit, claiming that Scores actually missed a deadline in 2015 to get a 5-year lease extension. So its lease has actually expired, or at least so they claim, in June of 2016. I'll link to a Spencer Kent article from NJ.com. Scores actually closed a few weeks before the Taj closed in August 2016. I don't know how much their early closing would affect their ability to argue they should still be open. I'm sure a lawyer will argue not at all.
They did stay open after their lease allegedly expired, right? So.
Yes, that's true. So who knows where that will go. Surely this is a pay them to go away situation. Hard Rock seemingly has absolutely no interest in them continuing in any way, because they actually said that Scores would hurt Hard Rock's ability to open on schedule and operate without impediment or potential denigration of its brand. So I don't know. I've talked about how I like the Hard Rock brand, and I'm a fan of it. I don't know how much.
But if there was scores there, you would not like the Hard Rock brand anymore.
It would damage it. It would, I would say, denigrate the brand. No, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess it would be a little weird because Hard Rock Cafe is a place I used to go when I was like 14.
Because Scores wasn't.
No, although it was probably a place that I would have been really excited about if it was.
Yeah, that's true.
So
There's
I don't
never
know.
be a time in your life where you'd be as excited about that as when you're 14.
Right. Yeah, I can't imagine that this ends up being a serious holdup when Hard Rock's pumping $500 million into the property, but I can't
imagine that this ends up affecting anything. I'm sure that either Hard Rock will feel that this is entirely without merit and then they'll let it proceed, or if there has some inkling of merit, they're just going to pay them and they'll go away.
Yeah.
So,
yep. So that's pretty much it. There's some question as to whether or not they can actually open in May, because it's a very ambitious construction timeline now, but I guess we'll see as it starts to progress.
Yep. So that is it for the news, but I just want to take this opportunity to thank you guys again for listening to us. It means a lot to us. And although we won't be back, quote unquote, live for probably around a month or maybe even a little more, we do have some content for you guys. We'll have a couple episodes that are going to come out on my break. So hopefully you can look forward to that, and hopefully we'll start live episodes probably back up in early November-ish. Any thoughts, Craig?
No, just good luck with the baby. Hopefully everything goes smoothly and you don't have too many crazy crying nights, although I know that's a hope that will go unfulfilled.
Actually, my first was a pretty good sleeper, which probably makes all of the parents that listen to the show angry, but
well, may you have more of that.
Yeah, hopefully. But again, thank you guys very much, and we will be, I guess, back live in like a month. But we do have a couple episodes, or we'll have a couple episodes recorded for the interim. But if you want to reach out to us, you can do so at facebook.com/group/doforawin. You can find our content at doforawin.com. Find our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, and what's going on with YouTube, man? You haven't posted in a while there.
Yeah, my iMovie's broken. I got to figure out what to do about that.
Permanently broken?
Seems like it, so I might have to just go to a different computer to do it.
Reach out to Craig on Twitter at doforawin, or send Craig an email at doforawin@gmail.com.
Yeah, so even though we're not recording, I'll still be active on all those things. I'll try to even be more active in the Facebook group to keep in touch with everybody.
Yeah, I'll probably be in the Facebook group too. But thank you guys again, and we look forward to talking to you in around a month.
Yep. That yep was totally unnecessary.
Yep.